Hi everyone, this is the Legendary. I'm back again with more. This time I'm going to be doing another Beyblade Burst review. This is going to be for Ultimate Gear Divine Belial. So you might wonder, why am I doing this, as a review? Well, it's because, for all the Belials, they basically have their own different, for all the Belials, they have their own kind of iterations with the Perfect Gear, then Ultimate Gear. Well, although in Perfect Gear, the only one is Ultimate Gear, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over each of them in their own separate video, and then just go over what I think is probably the best for fun and stuff like that. So I'll give it a proper review instead of it just being, stuff out of the box. Anyway, let's get on to the review. Okay, so here are the parts. So, the core, the DB core is called Belial 3. So the whole reason why it's called Belial 3 is because, basically, regular Divine came with Belial 2. And then, yeah, there's the first Belial as well as that. So, yeah, this is basically Belial 3. They basically waited until they actually released Belial 3 in a set. So, the only way that you're supposed to do with, so the only thing you're supposed to do with Belial 3 is just put it on, the original Divine, so it can make it look like, the regular colors. Which is kind of weird, but that's what they did. Anyway, Belial 3 is, Belial 3 is just pretty good, I'd say. So, I like how the design is front facing instead of side facing. Then on the back you can see the teeth. For the teeth, they are pretty blocky, which is pretty good for attack types because then they actually have less chances to basically burst. And it also features one BU lock, which if you don't know what BU lock is, it's where if you use Xanthus or the Moon Disc, then it'll actually become tighter and harder to burst. So you can actually use this on your attack combos or maybe even some defense and stamina type combos too. So yeah, probably keep that in mind if you really like combo testing. And then it also has a burst stopper too. So if you're using it for an attack Beyblade, then it'll actually be great because of the fact that the burst stopper will prevent it from bursting most of the time. So yeah, that's it. But the only way to actually get this piece is through the Ultimate Fusion DX set, which features Super Hyperion and King Helios. Next is the blade. The BU blade. The BU blade is called Divine. Yeah, I don't know why it's called Divine, but they called it that. Yeah, there's basically two versions of Divine. There's a regular color one, and then you have the one from the Ultimate Fusion DX set, which is where Belial 3 is from. So you can use either one. They're both the same. Just one has the purple, red, and blue here, and then the other one just has the normal colors. So it's up to you on the color choice and stuff like that. There's not really much of a difference. Actually, Divine by itself is really bad, so yeah, you really need some of these gears to make it better. And then for the other gear that I'll go over, which is A gear, so this is basically this defense mode. It's called defense mode because these points are sticking out, and they are supposed to make the Beyblade just rounder overall. And that actually makes it harder to actually makes it more circular. So that means that the Beyblade will technically have more spin and be more defensive. So yeah, that's basically its defense mode. And then whenever you turn it, I think you're supposed to turn it about 180 degrees, or just turn until you see it looks like this. Yeah. And then you'll basically have this in its attack mode. The only reason why it's attack mode is because it basically has more weight on the sides to actually have the normal contact points, and that'll give it bigger hits in theory. Yeah, I honestly feel like A gear is pretty good because it gives it more weight, and it also just it doesn't fill in the gap for Divine, but it does give this contact point a little bit more of a hit to it. So yeah, that's what I think, at least. And by the way, the A gear is from the Achilles set, so yeah. So here's the disc. The disc is called Nexus. Well, this disc is called Nexus, but this is basically Nexus plus D. The only reason why it's plus D is because whenever you actually is because you actually need to get this from Gatling Dragon. So when you buy Gatling Dragon, you'll have this. And this is called the D gear. It's supposed to basically make it have like a bound attack gimmick to the disc. And I think it's a pretty nice add-on because you get more weight, and then you also have like the bound attack gimmick. I don't know how good it is, but I think I saw one video where it was kind of working somehow. Yeah, it kind of just depends on like the battle and stuff like that. So yeah, that's Nexus and Nexus plus D. Also, so here's the other gear that we're going to go over. This gear is called H gear. H gear comes in two parts. Not just to reference Hyperion and Helios from the Ultimate Fusion DX set, which this is the only way to get the Ultimate Fusion DX set. But it's not just to reference them. He also does reference Lucifer too because of the purple. And also the fact that it's in two parts. So it's supposed to act as an armor and basically like a and like its own unique kind of version of L gear. So yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. And this is unique and better than L gear because this actually does have a high and low mode. So in high mode it's like Mel on top, but in the Mel's on top there's actually a gimmick where I think somehow there's like these little plastic parts, and they actually make the Beyblade a little bit hard to burst in theory. I don't know if that really works or not, but I guess so. And then this is low mode, where the plastic is on top. And in low mode, it basically, there's no real gimmick, but there's no gimmick in low mode, but the whole idea of it is that it's supposed to kind of show like the fusion between red and blue and mix purple and stuff like that. So yeah, and it's supposed to also give the Beyblade more weight and attack power, basically. So it's supposed to be like L gear, but just a little bit different. Now here is Venture and the S gear. So this is Venture by itself. Venture by itself is just kind of it's okay. It runs out of stamina fast. The rubber pieces are basically just used to make the Beyblade accelerate, but it doesn't really do that. It just kind of makes the Beyblade go aggressive and then lose spin, and then the Beyblade's just done. So yeah, it's just okay. And then when you put on, this is the VS gear, which you could get from the Versus set. Yeah, the Versus set with Burst Spriggan and Ultimate Valkyrie. But yeah, this is a VS gear. You can also put V gear on Venture. And you can also put S gear on Nexus, by the way. Just gotta let you know that. But yeah, the whole idea of this is that this piece is supposed to this piece is free spinning so that it can make the Beyblade kind of, I guess whenever it hits the ridge, it's supposed to just make the Beyblade free spin and not really mess with the spin, most likely. And then whenever you put it on, you do have more burst resistance, so it's like a dash driver. And then you also have this little point that just sticks out, so there's no rubber contact anymore for the stadium, and actually gives the Beyblade more stamina. I know I'm not using like the original colors, but that's because they're basically the same. There's not really much of a difference there. Okay, so I actually I kind of want to go over how to put together Divine, so I'll try to do that. So the whole way that you put together Divine, for the people that don't know, is that you basically just line up the tabs. Like there's tabs on here, then you line them up with then just line them up with wherever you want to position the A gear. Then there you go. Which I'll probably do it like this. Yeah, there you go. Then here's this. Now you're mostly done. And then for H gear, actually H gear only has one way to put it on, so it's like this. Basically the stickers tell you The stickers basically tell you where the positioning should be, like in terms of the colors. So purple should match with purple. And yeah, the blue and red should match with the blue and red. And then you have to take the bottom part of the gear, and then of the H gear, then you could put it on like that, like a normal armor. Also, if you're ever having trouble with the armors, just kind of push, just basically give the tabs a little bit more force when you push them in, like pull them out, I mean, and then the armors will go in more smoothly. And now you're done with the layer. Yeah, the disc I already have it on, but yeah, it's kind of pretty simple. I already explained that part in my Gatling Dragon video. And now, just kind of twist. Yeah, this the clips are actually really strong for this, as you can tell. So yeah, the clips are really strong, and I don't think this thing will burst much. So I now have to find a worthy opponent. So I guess some worthy opponents would be some of the ones that made the Beyblade. Some Beyblades that made the Beyblade strong as it is now. Dragon, since Dragon hasn't had much time on channel. Let's go with Helios to represent the Super King set. Yeah. And then I guess I'm gonna go with Spriggan because Spriggan hasn't had much time on channel either. So yeah, these three versus Belial. 3, 2, 1, go shoot! Okay, so the first battle is against King Helios MR. Yeah, I might do 2 rounds maybe. Actually no, I have to do 1. Because I also have to compare it to like regular Divine, so yeah. Oh wow! Divine Belial gets sent out. Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go shoot! So this is Burst Spriggan versus Divine Belial. Whoa! Huge hits! Huge hits. Yeah, Burst Spriggan doesn't burst easy, so yeah, I'm not expecting too much happening. Too much to actually happen. Plus Burst Spriggan's really circular, so Belial might lose here. And there's like a draw. I'll call that a draw. 3, 2, 1, go shoot! Okay. They're both attack types, so yeah, it's gonna be a little bit aggressive. Some small hits. I think Belial might actually take the win this time. And Belial takes the win with a spin finish. Yeah, I know that I didn't really perform the best, but I'm pretty sure if I did like more battles or did like dedicated battle videos, it might be different. Anyway, let's actually do the same battles, but with Belial in his normal form. Okay, so this is stock Divine Belial, which is basically Divine Belial straight out of the box, which is Nexus and then Adventure. Yeah, one of the worst combos for Beyblade Burst. 3, 2, 1, go shoot! I think this battle it actually has its own battle video. I think it already does. Honestly, I haven't used Ultimate Fusion like combos much. If Divine wins, I'm gonna be so mad. Okay, Helios wins with a spin finish. 3, 2, 1, go shoot! Okay, so already Divine is showing more potential than Ultimate Divine. 3, 2, 1, go shoot! Okay. Small hits. I guess the one thing I don't really like about regular Divine is that it doesn't really have much stamina, and it doesn't really, like, the rubber doesn't really help redirect itself to actually hit harder. Like every once in a while it could in the standard stadium, but in the Dynamite Battle Arena it just rarely happens. Yeah, it's like a draw again. 3, 2, 1, go shoot! Okay. Whoa! That was a huge hit. Yeah, goodbye stamina. Dragon wins that round with the spin finish. Okay, so what do I think of Ultimate Divine Belial? I'll talk while I'm putting it together. So what do I think of Ultimate Divine Belial? Well, it's actually, Ultimate Divine Belial is a good Beyblade. Well, I'm just saying it's good because, well, collection. So Ultimate Divine Belial is good for collection, and I'm not really too sure how good it is competitively. I honestly say that this build is mostly for fun, but for the people that want to play competitively, maybe Divine plus the A gear could be good competitively, and then I guess that's basically it, because I don't think H gear really would have a place in the meta, especially with it being plastic mostly, and L gear just being, you know, heavier. And then maybe D gear can have a place somewhere, but I'm not sure where. And then VS gear, I guess if you really want Venture to you know, I mean, there's VS gear, then there's also V gear, so either one works, but I don't know. I don't really see why anyone would use some of these things competitively. So yeah, I guess competitive value is just okay. Maybe Belial 3 is good competitively, that's all I'd say for that. Yeah, Belial 3 competitive, that could work. In terms of the other parts, I don't really see them being used competitively, or I don't really see potential in them being used competitively. And yeah, this build is basically just for fun. You may have even noticed that the only real difference between these battles here for Ultimate Divine versus regular Divine is just that I have more stamina pretty much. It has more stamina and more weight, but that doesn't really mean that it's exactly better. So yeah, it really just depends on the opponent and the stadium. So yeah. So if you want to support my channel or get any of the Beyblades that I mentioned, you can feel free to go to Model Toys. There's a link in the description, and through that link, if you buy anything, you'll actually support the channel. And I'm pretty sure that they have at least most of the, I think they have at least most of these, most of the Beyblades that I mentioned here. So if you if you're looking for a Beyblade to complete your collection with, then feel free to do that. My code for Model Toys is the Legendary R, no spaces. And whenever you use that code, you get 5% off your first order. Yeah, feel free to do that if you want to. There's no pressure to. Like if you want, share if you want, and subscribe to become a legend in the making. See you next time, bye, and we are proven to be legendary. Stay legendary. By the way, I'm pretty sure this is... By the way, no matter how bad Divine Belial is, or Ultimate Divine Belial, I am 1000% sure this thing can beat the Hasbro version. So that is a plus in my book. Anyway, bye.